Shri Chaitanya Vishram Shadidam Vena Bhutale Sangrupatanam Bhagavate Swaratarajaram Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Tapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Chaturyatam Sangam Raghunatam Tam Satyivam Sadvedam Sadhutam Parajana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Varam Saharana Lalita Shri Vishakam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Bhakti Namo Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pricharani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschanti Vishakarani Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaurakrishna Ye Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagipate Gopesha Gopina Ganta Sri Radha Ganta Namaskari Uttakantana Gauranga Sri Radha Vrindavameshwari Vrishabhanu Sushadevi Pranamam Haritri Nilathilam Nilasaya Nityaya Paramapune Dravadra Charitrapyami Karanapanavinam Injada Vitra Krishna Sasha Vidya Chakritam Antaranavali Krishna Vidya Namoniyam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Radha Sri Vaswadi Gaurabhakti Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna.
Haribo.
So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to serve all of you. So I've been told that you're all from first years and second years and third years. I'm sorry, second years and third years, right? So second year Krishna consciousness, very special, very special. So this is a matchless gift, Krishna consciousness. I've been told that we'll be discussing the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, can someone tell how many chapters are there in, second years can answer. How many chapters are there in Bhagavad Gita? 18 chapters. Which year? Second year, oh, very nice. How many of you are second years? Oh, almost every. Third years, how many? Okay. So, very nice. And all of you are from same college. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. You know? Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose College. Very nice. NSCC, na? NSCC. Netaji Subhash Engineering College. Yeah. Actually, there is a great history of Subhash Chandra Bose. In fact, it is said that India got, Srila Prabhupada says that India got independence because of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. So, we are all special people in this college. So, having the name of special personality. So anyway, our Madam Vrindavan Prabhu instructed me that we'll be discussing on Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which has got 18 chapters. So, can someone tell, someone from second years can tell the most important part of Bhagavad Gita? Can someone tell? Most important part of Bhagavad Gita? There are how many sections in Bhagavad Gita?
Three sections.
3 sections. Second year, right? Third year, second year.
I'm from IHM Prabhu.
No, second year Krishna Conscious, third year Krishna Conscious.
First new Prabhuji.
Okay. Second year. or 3 sections are there. Can someone tell what are the 3 sections of Bhagavad Gita? So just like you got sandwich you find there is a bread on top, bread at the bottom, and in the middle you find jam and the substance, the main substance. So in a very similar way, Bhagavad Gita has got Karma Yoga on top and Jnana Yoga on the bottom, and the main substance is Bhakti Yoga. The main jam is Bhakti Yoga at the essence. So just like in a very precious jewel box, you see that there is a bottom covering and there is a top covering which is studded with gems on top. 2 coverings, but the main jewel is inside. Right? So in a similar way, Karma Yoga is like the bottom covering, and the Jnana Yoga, last 6 chapters are like the top covering, and the middle 6 chapters, 7 to 12, are the the jewel inside. And the middle part of the middle 6 chapters, they are like the essence of the essence. The middle of the middle 6 chapters, they are the essence of the essence. So what are the middle of the middle 6 chapters? Numbers? Easy to answer this. Middle 6 chapters are 7 to 12. So middle of middle, numbers, mathematics. Middle of the middle 6 chapters.
6.
Huh? 7 to 12 is, yeah? And 9 and 10, yeah. 9 and 10, right? 7, 8 is one end, and 11, 12 is other end. 9, 10 is the most. Okay, it's on the middle of the middle. So in this middle of the middle 6 chapters, there is 4 slokas which tell about the entire Bhagavad Gita. In those just 4 slokas. Very spectacular, right? This Krishna. He gave 18 chapters, discourse, 700 slokas of discussion, but he embedded the entire essence in the middle of the middle 6 chapters in 4 slokas called as Sloki Gita. Sloki Gita. So can someone tell, someone has an idea what is this Sloki Gita? Anyway, I'll tell that anyway. So this Sloki Gita is 10.8 to 10.11. So 8, 9, 10, 11. So these 4 slokas are the complete ultimate essence of the entire Bhagavad Gita. You understand these 4 slokas, then you understood everything about the Bhagavad Gita. What Krishna is telling to Arjuna, you understood everything. So amazing, right? Just 4 slokas, you understand everything. So, very loaded and very potent slokas that Krishna has spoken to Arjuna. So, we'll just recite one by one. Someone has a text 10.8. Even if you type in your smartphones BG space 10.8, you will find it. So I'll recite the first sloka. Aham sarvasya prabhavo bhaktas. Yeah. Someone want to recite? Again recite. Aham sarvasya prabhavo Mukta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam dhrudha bhava samanvitaha. So Krishna is telling that I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. Who is that me? Krishna. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. You see? So this is a first sloka. So, if you have to just be a little concentrative and like just recitation and translation. If you are just concentrated and understand, what it means, then you will understand the entire Bhagavad Gita. Right? So I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Right? So I'm going to the next sloka. Macchitta madgata prana bodhayantaha parasparam kadayantasya mam nityam dusyanti sharamanti cha. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. So the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. So you see, here there is a word called pure devotees. So who are these pure devotees? Pure devotees are the ones who are very clear in their concept. Like when you are studying in your university, in your college. So in your college, there are people who may get good marks and score and whatever it is, and there are some people who are very very focused on the concept what is being taught in the textbooks, you see, and they are the ones, if they write competitive exams like GATE for example, they get very very good marks because their concepts are very very clear, right? So one thing is getting good grades, but the concept, how much you are really understanding the concept is something very very important. So in a very similar way, in this world also you see that people, they just go on in their lives, they get lot of earning and different things, but the main concept of human life, the main purpose of human life, if you understand, then you can get the tip to write the examination of death. You get the tip to write the examination of death. Human life is actually a preparation for the examination of death. So this concept of human life is what is very very important. So Srimad Bhagavatam also very clearly mentions this point. त्यक्त्वा सधर्मं शरणाम्बुजं हरेर्भजन्नपको वतपते ततो यदि यत्रा को वा भद्रमबोधमुष्यकिं को वार्ताप्तो भजतां सधर्मता. So someone who is not properly doing his duties, daily duties, whatever it is, but he is very, very nicely, his consciousness is at the lotus feet of Hari. So then he is at a very higher position than someone who is doing his duties very, very nicely, but abhajatam, he is not engaged in service of Hari. There is not much, because at the time of death he cannot, he is like blank in that paper, he cannot write that exam properly, and he cannot make that goal. So the concept of understanding, now what is this concept? Just like in examination we have got a concept, so what is that concept we have to understand in human life? The concept is understanding God, understanding Krishna. So as the supreme personality of Godhead, that first sloka, aham sarvasya prabhavo. When you understand that here is a personality, here is a form from where everything emanates, that everything is his energies and he is energetic. When you understand this, then you have you really got the concept of life, concept of human form of life. And then with that clarity and concept, what happens? Your thoughts always, they pivot around Krishna. All the different energies that you keep coming across in your life, you start connecting it to Krishna. Krishna is the pivotal element. So all the different Shaktis, you start connecting it to the pivot of Shaktiman, the supreme energetic. That is the clarity that one gets by this particular clarity and concept. So because ordinary people generally they don't have this pivotal element, their thoughts are distracted, distributed, confused, and all that things happen, and they don't have proper shelter to turn to or shelter to take. So because of that they're always depressed, and in fact it is said that someone who is disconnected from the supreme spirit, he is almost like a living dead, jivan mrityu it is said, because life is just going on for the sake of going, that's all. It's just whatever he has to do, he is just forced to act the way society is forcing him to act. There is so much of different values that people outside talk of, or the movies talk of, the different impact that one has, is just forced to do that particular against his will. He is not interested in that, but still he is forced to do it. Like for example, in Vedic times, there are if there are 1,000 different kinds of people, then there are 1,000 different subjects for 1,000 different people. For all the 1,000 different kinds of people. But in the present times, after the industrial revolution and things happened, for 1,000 different kinds of people, there are only 10 subjects. There are 10 subjects. Why? Because industry wants people, manpower for themselves. So they want huge amount of manpower, for doing, whatever, big. So now they just teach 10 subjects, and then there are 990 people whose dream job, that psychophysical need, their inclination, their interests are not satisfied. 990 people, 990 different kinds of people. Can you imagine? And then what happens because of that 990 people not getting their interests satisfied? Now all these 990 people will be like, they'll be in the back benches. They'll not find so much interest. And if 10 people they pass out, they may get good grades and good what do you call recognition by the companies, by their selection process and all that. And in that selection process also they may select only 5 people and they leave the other 5 also. And 995 people are completely unemployed. This is what is the present day scenario. So now people are forced by that thought process to go in this particular direction of getting into the industries and that all that different tensions and different process that they go through. It is totally people are completely bewildered. But when you understand that how everything is connected and pivoted around God, then there is a totally different relief that one gets. Because Prahlad Maharaj mentions that Nate vidu swartha gatim he Vishnu dhurashayaye pahirarthamanina. So not knowing that the real self-interest is Vishnu, people go mad after material energy in different variegated ways, and is practically mad and lost being after material energy. So when you are clear about this concept that how above all this, so now what happens is when there is a your for example there is you don't find your interest of your subject, and somehow you are forced to do some subject and you don't get job of your interest even after doing that particular subject. Say for example mechanical, you don't get the core company and you have to get into some software company. It is like totally bewildering situation. What is this life, what is this purpose, it's like totally bewildering. And one may get into further MTech and after that there also one may not find some satisfaction, and one may get into very high university and whatever it is. Why that bewilderment is there? Because there is the imposition of different values that were being imposed on him because of the social pressure. The social pressure which one gets one gets imposed on by the values, and then one starts taking all these different values and goes in this direction, that direction, and here, there, all around, like a electric field being kept over, electron deflects like anything. So in a similar way, so what is the purpose of life? What is the concept of life? After a few years, person is completely lost actually. Why he is for what purpose he is living, totally lost, totally bewildered. And that is what happens if you just carefully analyze. So pure devotees whose characteristics are mentioned here engage themselves fully in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. How it happens? Fully engaging in transcendental loving service of the Lord. See, when someone is very clear about the concepts and how one has to deal with that particular subject of his interest. So then he has some formulas to how to solve a particular problem or how to go ahead, and he starts finding a lot of use in finding answers and solutions, right? There is some satisfaction that one gets. See, whether it is whatever field of expertise you have, whatever psychophysical satisfaction that one gets in his practices, whether one wants to be a engineer or a doctor, lawyer, whatever it is. So one will find it very interesting and exciting. Jai Sri Sri Radha Govinda Sriman Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Jai Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. First sloka, like back to the reminder of first sloka. So first sloka tells the supreme position of God. So how Krishna is the origin of everything and he is the supreme personality of Godhead, and from him comes everything, all the material and the spiritual worlds. And according to his command, Maya Jakshena Prakriti Suyada Sacharacharam. What it means is, under the adjeksha of Krishna, this material energy is going on. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita. And we are all under that particular material energy. Like in different variegated ways. So we can understand how insignificant we are. Krishna is the source of the entire material and spiritual worlds. And in the material world is Ekapad Vibhuti. Spiritual world is Tripad Vibhuti. Matlab 3/4 and 1/4. So in that 1/4 material world, 1/4 material world, it is Ananto Koti Brahmanda. It is, infinite crores of universes are there in that 1/4 material world. And in one such universe, which is like, one of the mustard seed in comparison to so many Brahmandas. It is like a mustard seed in front of Supreme Lord. And that in that one mustard seed, we have Earth planet, which is not even like a dust particle. And in that dust particle, India is like one small, set of microbes. Yeah, microbes. And in that microbe, within that microbe, we are in West Bengal, which is like a small part of the microbe. So in that small part of the microbe, we are in Calcutta, which is a part of that microbe, So, and in that Calcutta, our position we can understand, our Gariya voice size, and within that Gariya voice, our size. So we are like atom, not even atom, it's like insignificant practically. So you can understand our position and Krishna's position. Krishna is the source of material and spiritual worlds. So you can understand our insignificant position in front of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now this particular point is very, very important, to understand how Krishna is the pivot of entire creation. So that is one thing, and our insignificant position. Second point. So when you understand these 2 points, and also understand the futility of the world outside. Like I was telling, the different ways and means people struggle to survive in their life. Like there is a social pressure, and because of social pressure, the social values, अरे आपको ऐसे करना है, ऐसे ये जेई एग्ज़ाम लिखना है, एग्ज़ाम लिखने से आपको ये मिलेगा, इसके बाद ये मिलेगा, और इसके बाद बहुत पैसे मिलेगा, और ये मिलेगा, so many things they talk about. But actually, if you carefully observe their lives, actually they think that they get settled and all these things. But if you go look deep into their lives, they are actually not settled properly. If you look deep into their lives, there is so much of demand, material desires, that one has. Like for example, someone has got a package of, for example, 1 lakh rupees per month, even per month. It may seem like a big thing and all that. But one thing, there are 2 things that one has to understand. So in what way you are getting that particular money which you are getting, in what way you are getting it, and after getting that money, how much you are spending according to your own wish and will. These 2 things. So now, first of all, this, in what way he is getting that particular money. Now, if you carefully observe this, I'll be a little straightforward. You have to tolerate this particular statement. If you just carefully observe, there is one very powerful statement of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada once met one industrialist. Because we are working for an industrialist and we get money, right? That's how you get money. When you work for an industrialist outside. So now, when you are working for an industrialist, what exactly that industry does, we need to know. And what exactly is, the how industry is giving you money, that we need to know. So this particular industry, Srila Prabhupada once met one industrialist who is a owner of a glass company. And Srila Prabhupada told him that you are a thief. He told to that industrialist. So then that industrialist said, why you call me thief? I am having my own company and my own earning, my own life, and I am rather giving so much for employees. Why do you call me thief? Then Srila Prabhupada asked, so how do you pay your employees? I pay by the business of making the glass, different glass related things, and selling it. So how do you get material for the glass? Srila Prabhupada asked. So, and then how he gets the material from glass, per glass. He gets from nature. And nature belongs to whom? God. So he is stealing from God, the material of God, the energy of God, but is not paying anything to God. And is rather making money out of it, out of whatever he is getting, whatever he is taking from God. And he is running his company and all that. To make, one thing is they exploit a material nature and extract people, pulling them out of their own comfort zones. Like they have different interests, but they pull out huge amount of people through this schooling. The school and keeping only 10 subjects that will teach your industrial subjects, and you pull huge amount of people. Okay? And now exploitation of money. After you get material, you get people, you make up glass materials, glass related things, and you sell it and you start pulling money, people's money, and you start making money out of it, and you start making big profit, and then you say that this is mine, everything is mine. But actually the origin is everything belongs to God, right? So now the point is, what is wrong with this? Just like Ravana, what he did, he got golden Lanka. He made his Lanka made up of gold. He looted so much of gold. And he made his golden Lanka, and God is not the center. So, actually it is said that when one connects Mother Lakshmi to Vishnu, then one will be happy and satisfied. But the moment you don't, you want to exploit, you want to separate Mother Lakshmi from Vishnu, then that very same Mother Lakshmi becomes Durga. Like Mother Sita, actually it is, Kurma Puran says that it is Maya Sita that has been taken away by Ravana, who was actually cause of destruction of the entire Ravana race. Of course, these are different subject. The point I want to say is, when one takes energy of God for a selfish purpose, then that will be the cause of destruction, right? So now when you plan up and team up, to make a gang called company and start looting God's property, then you will be caught in due course of time. How you will be caught? So one thing is, I was telling about how one will be getting the money, and how one spends his money. He got 1 lakh rupees. So much of things. He's getting from company, and there are other companies also looting. Not only looting from God, they are looting from other people, other companies that are looting, right? So they start looting you. They start looting. They start show all the different kinds of their ads and their ways of pulling you into pulling your money in different against your wish and will. Against your wish and will. It goes. Person goes into this Walmart or Spencer's, and without his wish and will, he comes out empty pocket. Whole pocket is gone. And how they spend, they just cannot understand actually. It goes, just like that. Without, they're forced practically against their wish and will. So you're forced against your wish and will to be a part of this particular gang, and you're forced against your wish and will to just lose all your money to different people, right? So now this kind of what do you call forced state of everyone being subjected very badly to different values that people are talking about. It is do you call it independence in any sense? How many of you call it independence? Being forced against your wish and will. How many of you felt very nice when you went to school? Like in your childhood, it is a force actually. You have been kept in a jail for hours and hours and hours. You never wanted to be there. So it is a force. It is a force. That is been applied. So the point is, now we have to understand one thing, that even though you may make some savings, even though you say that I could control myself and I could do some savings for myself. Imagine that money, when you kept it for a selfish purpose, it is Durga. So that very same money which you might have saved it somewhere or the other may send to hospital, and will be used on his own body, in different tests. आप हॉस्पिटल में जाने से आपको पता चलेगा क्या क्या होता है. So the point to be understood is, nothing happens without control of God. Everything, the whole material world belongs to God, and it is running. Maya Jakshana Prakriti. This Prakriti is running under Krishna's Adyaksha. So when you understand the supremacy of position of Krishna and our insignificant position, and you start aligning yourself with God, then you get the formula, that concept of life. If you don't understand this concept and you just start messing around here and there without understanding the purpose, then you lose the concept of life, and then you lose the purpose of life. You lose the direction totally. You'll be completely bewildered, confused, what to do, what not to do. There is no purpose, no pivot, right? In fact, there is saying, I'm just remembering a little bit. If you don't have any purpose to die for, then you don't really have anything meaningful to live for. That is what happens. So something like that, some statement like that. So we need to understand the world we are living. Of course, I'm not saying that now you give up your college, give up going to company and all. You have to understand the concept. You have to, of course, maintain what are basic necessities are there. You be careful about it, but you understand the concept of life. You understand how everything is going under the control of God. Get the point? You get these formulas from the Vedic scriptures. So Vedas are words of God. So they give the formulas. Krishna is giving us a formula for life, manual for life. Just like bike, when you know how to ride a bike, for example, then by reading a manual, when you know how to ride a bike or use a machine part, then you can properly, efficiently utilize that particular machine part, right? But if you don't know practically anything about how to use it, and you don't have any manual how to use it, that's it. In fact, you know how to use it only by reading the manual, any complicated machine. So, in a very similar way, our human life, our Bhagavad Gita, which has been given by the Supreme Lord Krishna, it is a manual for human life, and it tells us how to operate this machine of human body, how to be peaceful living in this machine of human body and human mind. So when the mind is connected to God, then you'll be really happy, and then you'll be getting, you have the formula for life. You'll be happy and satisfied, right? And see, what is the difference between the person outside who doesn't have the formula? Nate vidu swarthagate me Vishnu durachaya bahirardhamanya. So once that self-interest is not known, self-interest is Vishnu, that is not known, he starts going mad after matter. That means his greed increases like anything. And why this greed increases? Because the need has increased. There are so many unnecessary necessities because of which the need has increased, and thereby the greed also has increased, right? But the moment there is connection to Krishna, the need and greed both reduces. That fever for matter reduces, right? So, there is one of our devotee, very simple devotee. His father is earning maybe around 4,000 or 5,000 per month. But he's very, his whole family, they are very happy and settled. Very happy and settled. Why? Because there is not much unnecessary necessity because of the greed that the social, society, that puts on the villagers especially. There is not much, TV and all these things. And that's it, the need is very less. And simple living, high thinking, very peaceful. Very, very peaceful. You see? So, the moment, this particular need reduces, automatically your life becomes very peaceful. So, when you get into this particular rat race, it is like complicated living and no thinking practically. Your whole consciousness goes into that particular rat race, and there is practically zero thinking about purpose of life, goal of life. People just live like that, against their will and wish. They are just forced and driven to live the way everybody is living. Everybody is saying this, so I'm also going like this, right? So, but here you see, the moment there is connection to Krishna, the need and greed is reduced, need is reduced, and that's it. You have so much freedom from the influences of the society, because your values are connected to Krishna, and then you are living according to the direction of Krishna, and that's it. What an amazing freedom. When mind is offered to Krishna, then mind is totally under control. You'll be very, very peaceful. That's how pure devotees, that's why the second statement comes. When mind is totally clear that how God is the one who is supplying everything. In Mayapur, Sridhar Mayapur, Srivas Sangan, how many of you are been there? Srivas Sangan? Oh, only one, no? Okay, I think many of you are second years. Yeah. Third years, I think you might have been there, right? Third years? Okay, fine. There is a place, how many of you heard of Srivas Sangan? Srivas Thakur, you heard? How many of you heard of Srivas Thakur? There is Panchatattva, right? Panchatattva. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita, Gadadhara Srivas Sadi. So Srivas Thakur is one of the Panchatattva. So Srivas Thakur during the time of Mahaprabhu, for his living, he has such a faith and conviction in God. He just claps 3 times, and that's it. There is food available for him. This is very very high level consciousness. So you can see pure devotees, because of their complete surrender to God, because of their complete conviction in God and dependence on God. So God reciprocates with them accordingly. So to the extent you surrender to God and depend on God, automatically God will take care of all your needs, basic needs. Everything God will take care. God in fact will reduce unnecessary hankering in the heart, and whatever need that you have, Krishna says Yogakshemam Vahameham in Bhagavad Gita. I will take care of whatever you need, Krishna tells. So of course we can do whatever basic need is there, that you want to engage in. At the same time you have to depend on God. That is the important point. So their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. They are peaceful, you see, bindas. So you see, Maya Das, Sadao Das, Krishna Das, bindas. This is life. Simple living, high thinking. Right? So then next sloka comes. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayantite. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. So ये condition है. So एक बार concept clear हो गया कि भगवान कृष्णा is the supreme personality, ठीक है, and everything originates from him, and you start practicing bhakti. You are hearing and chanting Sravanam and Kirtanam, and when you stabilize your practice of Sravanam and Kirtanam, then you will get formulas. कैसे 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 लाइफ में आगे बढ़ना है, वो सारा फॉर्मूला मिल जाएगा. कहाँ से मिल जाएगा? Krishna is giving his guarantee. I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. This Krishna's word. Get the point, na? So there is a word of the supreme personality of Godhead. So Shastras mention one very important point, asatoma satkama. So to the extent we understand our insignificant position, मैं करने वाला हूँ, मैं खुद डिपेंड करना है, ये करना है, वो करना है, वो when you understand your own insignificant position, that you are not the one. आप जितना भी कोशिश करो, you'll go against your wish and will. You just mess up. You understand this particular aspect, and you understand the supremacy and the complete control of God. When you understand this, and with that particular understanding, with that when you, instead of having a hazy understanding, when you have this particular telescopic understanding, then your chanting will have a different taste, will have a different juice. When you chant holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. So your experience of Krishna will be totally different when you chant holy names. Like right now, you may not be able to easily understand what I am saying, but when you constantly keep on practicing this every day, consistently keep on practicing this day after day after day. Right now, like you practice for 1 year, you keep maintaining consistency. You start getting so many formulas, so many different understandings. Life का जो outlook है पूरा change हो जाता है. You get so many formulas. Arjuna, he has a totally different outlook of how to fight. And Duryodhana, he has the same power and strength. But who is victorious? Arjuna. Right? And you can see Shivaji, such personality of such a character he has. And you can see so many great personalities. Henry David Thoreau, he read Bhagavad Gita. Albert Einstein, he read Bhagavad Gita. You can see, the kind of values, the kind of realizations, the outlook and understanding of the nature that they got, nobody could even thought of. Because, you don't find people, with those values, who are reading, who are God-centered and, who have that clarity in consciousness. You don't find those people. And thereby, because of that, not having that connection to God, they don't get those eurekas. Eurekas, it is not, that one gets, by one's own mind. You get from somewhere actually. From who is that somewhere? I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Krishna will give you those eurekas. So how many of you want eurekas? Only two. Okay. So how many of you don't want eurekas? So actually, this enlightenment, that these vivekas, are enlightenment actually. That outlook, towards life, you need to understand. That concept of life you need to understand, so that you can live in a totally different way and in a very relaxed way, bindas way, So. So this is life. This is the Krishna conscious life. Simple living, high thinking. I'll just conclude everything, whatever I spoke, by this last statement of the Supreme Lord. After reciting Teshamevanukampartam Ahamagnan Jamtamaha नाशयामि आत्मभावोस्तो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता. To show them special mercy, I dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Enlightenment within the heart. This Krishna's words, what I am speaking. Right? So you get those eurekas in life. So generally, you can see here, when Lord Chaitanya was in Benares promulgating the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thousands of people were following him. Prakashananda Saraswati, a very influential and learned scholar in Benares at that time, derided Lord Chaitanya for being a sentimentalist. Sometimes Mayavadi philosophers criticize devotees because they think that most of the devotees are in the darkness of ignorance and are philosophically naive sentimentalists. ये बस ऐसे ही कुछ भावुक है ऐसे बोलते रहते हैं. Actually, that is not the fact. There are very, very learned scholars who have put forward the philosophy of devotion. But even if a devotee does not take advantage of their literatures, समझो कि झाड़ू मारने वाला है, simple devotee है, or of a spiritual master, if he is sincere in his devotional service, he is helped by Krishna himself within his heart. You see? Because he has a formula coming from Krishna. He need not, even if he, by chance, if he cannot understand or read, he is unable to read or understand, because of his devotion to Krishna, Krishna will give him the understanding, Eurekas. You see? So all these statements of Srila Prabhupada, they are actually realizations, Eurekas. You understand to the extent you understand statements of Srila Prabhupada, which are actually his Eurekas, you will get formula for life. You will get concept of human life, how to live in this human life. So proper purpose, that's why they are very, 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 very important. Right? So these are all very, very deep eurekas that Srila Prabhupada is sharing here. So in conclusion, I'll just conclude the entire, consolidate the entire discussion, whatever I spoke till now. So I started the discussion with the first sloka of understanding how Krishna is the supreme source of everything. So, and I started with the analogy of understanding the concept in your college, like how there are some people who understand the concept and score very nicely in competitive examinations. So in a very similar way, you can score very nicely in the ultimate examination of death to go back to Godhead, where there is eternal life. When you understand a concept by hearing from the pure devotee, and when you understand the futility of the material life, how there is a lot of limitation in the world outside, and how people are subjected to the values against their wish and will, and they get real freedom when they understand peacefully, when they sit and understand that how Krishna is the source of everything, and he is the one who is avoiding everything in different variegated ways. See, even you are getting job in a company, for example, it is because of Krishna's control. Krishna is there in the hearts of every heart, and he is the one who is pressing the button to give job or not give job. So he is the one in the supreme control of everything. So if you understand this particular concept and depend on God and take the name of God, and with God-centered life you go on in your life, then you get so many eurekas, and your life will be totally different day after day after day. It will be totally different life. So this is the conclusion. So once we go back home, back to Godhead, by scoring wonderfully in the ultimate examination of death with full clear clarity of the concept that we got from Bhagavad Gita. The Gita, the song of God out of love. The song comes out of love. So then you'll go back to that world where you'll have eternal life and eternal eternally all your necessities will be taken care forever and ever and ever. So in spiritual world there is no dearth of any limitation or something like that. You can ask even a tree also, for gulab jamun or plate of fish that they are going to get, or you can ask whatever whatever you want, you'll be getting from even a tree. That's why trees are called as kalpa vriksha. These are fulfilling trees. So if you want to go to that wonderful world, you have to understand that concept. Just like when you understand concept, you get into competitive examination, and you get into a very sustainable so-called material life. In the very same way, if you apply that particular point to spiritual life, you understand concept of God, and you focusing on your preparation for the examination of death, you'll go back to that world, and you'll have an amazing life. So this is a ultimate examination, very amazing examination, to look forward. So I wish you all the best for the examination. So you have got Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is there, with you, who is ready to give you all the understandings and formulas to go ahead in your life and crack this ultimate examination of death. So how many of you are ready for the examination? Very good. So and also once I was hearing from our Prabhuji that Madhav Vandam Prabhu, that there is one very wonderful devotee, Vivek Prabhu. Who is Vivek Prabhu? Vivek Prabhu. अच्छा Vivek Prabhu. Hare Bol. This was today is August 4th. You know the birthday of Vivek Prabhu. So we can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for Vivek Prabhu together with full heart and soul for his wonderful enthusiastic practice in Krishna consciousness, for his wonderful services, and also his wonderful performance in his examinations. We can pray to, we can chant the holy names of Lord in a mood of prayer, asking Supreme Lord to bless Vivek Prabhu. So once we'll chant Hare Krishna Mantra together.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
So we pray to Lordships that they shower their choicest blessings upon Vivek Prabhu to inspire, to continue to inspire all his friends, in Hare Krishna consciousness, and continue nicely practice and keep learning formulas of life from Krishna and apply the formulas throughout his life. And crack the examination of death so that there won't be any more birth again. Haribol. Vivek Prabhu ki jai. I guess there is cake cutting, right?
I have a question.
ऐसे ही बोल दीजिए, हरी बोल.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So I have a question that means when we try to do sincere practice for this Krishna consciousness, then means outside voice means when we associate with different people means we lose motivation actually we mix and means our means what I can sincerity means I think my sincerity decrease. So means or means consciousness get polluted and we start doing nonsense things. So means how to get above that. So this is the question.
Very important question. But actually, every day, we have to just like every day we clean our stomach, clean our teeth, and clean our body, take bath. And if one day we don't clean it, you know what happens. It stinks. It completely contaminates the body, and there will be diseases, problems. Constipation, creates problems and all. So regularly there is a need for it's like when you get into bathroom, it's like an operation theater. There is a brush, which is like operating instrument. There is a tongue cleaner, another operating instrument. There is a shaving thing, which is another operating machine. So there is different way of cleaning, and finally there is we come out, we get discharged. We are out. So right, so then you feel very fresh and healthy once you clean yourself. So in a very similar way, just like the cross body, there is a cleaning process that we do. In a subtle body also we have to clean every day. So when we come across so many different people who take us away from the concept of understanding that how God is the complete source of everything. So energy and energetic is complete knowledge, but only energy is half knowledge, which people have in this world. So they pull us into the half knowledge things, that forget God and energies and just be driven by energies, what people are saying, this he is saying this, he is saying that. he hears 10 different things and he goes against his. So now those kind of values and vibrations and thought process do be here that keeps hitting us, right? So now every day you have to clean your consciousness with that haziness by every day hearing from sadhus in the morning. Then you get clarity of energy and energetic, that pivotal clarity. Once concept is clear, then that is like cleaning process. It's like you clean a gross body, you have to clean subtle body. So Bhavaushadi Stotra Manopirama. So just like like operation theater, there is operation and medicine and all that thing inward. So cleaning process by the medicine, the Bhavaushadi, for the material disease, there is the Aushadi. What is that Aushadi? Hearing and chanting. So regularly we have to hear and chant. Very, very attentively we have to chant holy names of Lord. So to the extent you have the clarity of these 4 slokas, that extent your chanting will be very, very amazing and enthusiastic. Once that clarity is there, how Krishna is the source of everything, then your calling out of holy names and dependence on Krishna will be totally different. And but that intensifies your cleaning process like anything. Chanting holy names very intensely. In fact, chanting is so powerful. There is one Japadok, His Grace Radhesham Prabhu shares. Just like Lord Narsimha Dev, he Tavakara Kamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Shringam, he tore open Hiranyakashipu. So you see any hard weapon like sword or any soft petal like the lotus petal, flower petal, both of them coming together is very, very rare. You don't see it, but both of them come together in Narsimhadev. Tavakara Kamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Shringam. So all the different contradictions and confusions which are there in our consciousness, they get cleared in chanting of holy names. So you get the concept and you chant with full intensity, and all the cleaning process will be very powerfully intensified. Completely flushed out actually. To the extent you are concentrative and you put your full heart and soul and absorption in chanting holy names. That extent your purification will be very, very intense. In fact, 99% of spiritual advancement depends on chanting of holy names. So to the extent you intensely get absorbed and chant holy names, the purification, the flush out will be very, very powerful, and the contradictions, confusions that you got from different people, they got very easily flushed out, tore open, tore apart, and you get recharged again. And then instead of they influencing you, you may influence them over a period of time. Who knows? So that is. Any other question? Someone wants to ask?
Prabhu, we doing sadhana every day and we also chanting, but we are not getting that taste. And while chanting, we also chant with the thoughts. Then how can I conquer the thoughts and how can I get the taste while chanting?
Right. See, actually, one thing is, one of the very important thing we have to understand, the connection of Sravanam and Kirtanam is very, very important. So to the extent, we get a clarity of this 4 slokas. When you hear from Krishna, from Prabhupada, you get that clarity. It is said, like Srimad Bhagavad mentions one of the point. Sauttama sloka mahanmukachyudo bhavatpadam puja sudhakananila smritim punarvismritim tattva vartmanam kuyoginam no vitarachalamvare. So Sauttama sloka, when you hear from pure devotees whose words are filled with formulas and realizations, eurekas, which we discussed. Srila Prabhupada says, my purports are my ecstasies. To the extent, you associate with Srila Prabhupada books, reading his books, that much extent, you get the clarity of energy and energetic. That connection to Krishna comes. Like smritim punar vismritim tattva vartmanam. Tattva of Lord. Tattva matlab the truth of Lord, of energy and energetic becomes very, very clear. And kuyoginam, yoga matlab connection, and Kyogena matlab disconnection, breakage. Kyogena no vitera chalambarai, the broken up state where we are not clear about the concept of energy and energetic, and because of which we get affected in our chanting. That particular gap will be filled up by connection to pure devotee. So to the extent we take reading of Srila Prabhupada's books very seriously, like I think every day you read how many, half an hour, right?
Yes.
15 minutes, half an hour like that.
20 to
Right?
30 minutes.
So 30 minutes, whatever, yeah. So you read with nice concentration and understanding of the concept. When you read it, it will directly impact your chanting next day. You can see that actually. It's very mystical how it does, how it happens. It is very, very sublime process. It's like iodine, when you heat it, it directly gets into vapors. So in a very similar way, when how when you hear Srila Prabhupada, your concept within the heart becomes clear, and your clarity becomes clear, and your taste also increases in chanting. It is very, very sublime and very mystical how it happens. So to the extent that you hear with full concentration Srila Prabhupada, but with full faith, and you want to with the aim of want to apply it in your life, when you hear it and take it deep into your heart, and then you chant holy names, it really impacts in a very spectacular way, very, very spectacular way. So Prabhupada books are, in fact, these yogis, they the realizations which they get in lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes, Srila Prabhupada is giving in every sentence of his within his books. It's not ordinary, devotees have come to our place and they just हमको लगता है कि बस ऐसे ही मिल गया, ऐसे ही मैं बस ऐसे बहुत सारा प्रोग्राम में जाता हूँ, ऐसे ये भी एक प्रोग्राम है, ऐसा लगता है, ऐसे नहीं है. This is what fortune we got, it is unbelievable practice. ब्रह्मांड भ्रमित कोना भाग्यवान जीवा गुरु कृष्ण प्रसाद पाया भक्तिदाता बीच. After wandering in the entire Brahmanda, kona bhagyavan jiv, some fortunate soul will come across Guru and Krishna. Very, very rare. So we have to take to Srila Prabhupada's books very seriously to get the taste in Kirtanam. So Sravanam affects Kirtanam, the taste in chanting. Any other question? जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. जय श्री श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय. जय नरसिंहदेव की जय. जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्र की जय. जय श्री श्री राधा गोविंद श्री महाप्रभु की जय. His Holiness